So you were talking about the thinning shears before we started and not leaving lines.
Yeah, and one of the things I liked about this, you know, companies tell you things all the time, you know.
Yeah, they
this
do.
is a magic shear and it won't leave any lines. And I thought, let me try these. And they didn't leave lines. And when you get drop-coated dogs like this in our salon, we do a snap-on comb on them and we always leave, you know, little edges and little lines. And one of the things that was nice about this is that you could, this way to take off hair, this way to take off hair, and you can see it's not leaving any lines in the coat. And I thought this was one of the nicer things about having a thinning shear. We all have these big chunky bulkers that we like, but you know, you go in and you bulk, and when you take it out, you're leaving lines, and this isn't leaving any lines in it. So I really thought that that was nice.
That's awesome.
What I like these thinning shears for is to set little Yorkie heads.
Yorkie heads are the nemesis for some people, that's for sure.
So we're going to take, we're going to comb her forward.
These are the big bulkers, and usually you wouldn't use that on a fine
dog
like
because
this.
you'd be afraid that you were going to leave a lot of lines in it. So this is just going to take off some of the bulk. I'm going to pull out, and I'm going to trim up behind her ear, and instead of using scissors, I'm going to leave a nice soft trim with the thinning shears. Now if I do it with the scissors, it's going to leave a sharper line.
It'll look less natural.
So it leaves that sharp line, and we don't really want a sharp line on a dog like this. We want a nice, soft trim on it.
And it takes way less time too, because even if you use your many tooth thinning shears, you know, you're going to have to
you're going to go back and
forth.
So we're going to comb out.
These are impressive.
And I'm going to come from underneath, just behind her ear, okay? And with a couple cuts, it comes all out. And it leaves it nice and soft. And I really like, especially on an older dog like this.
It's okay, honey.
Oh, no, I know you don't like your face touched.
She probably has some mouth issues.
So we're just going to not torture her, but we're going to take her ear out, and we're going to trim up.
You're being a good sport, Ava.
And then if you want to get a nice, soft finish to it, you're going to take your bigger tooth shears. I believe that these are a 26, but they could be a 28.
They're nice and long.
I'm not sure. And they do have a lot of length to them, which is nice. You know, when we started, you remember our thinning shears were this big. We only had hairdressing scissors, and now we don't have to do 8 million cuts with something.
Now we can get stuff done.
And if you take, oh, I know, I'm so sorry.
Sweetie.
I know. So what I'd like to do is take her and comb it up, and all this sticky out.
Just take the tips off.
And take all that off. And just give her a nice little round head so she's cute. You see all the long stuff.
You know, I've had a few groomers come and work for me that have thinning shears, you know, from 1990, and they pick up mine, you know, that are like this, and they take off way too much because they're not used to the thinning shears cutting.
Right, and when they're used to taking multiple cuts, I can remember we would cut, pull, cut, pull. Now you can
you don't have to. You can use them like scissors.
You can just trim. And I know groomers who will actually take this, what they call a chunker or a blender, and do entire dogs with them. I've seen Lindsay Mary trim a Bichon with it, and you get the plushest, most beautiful trim on them ever.
Yeah, and do you want to talk a little bit about these blenders? Because the way that they're set with the blades, you can't really use them like normal scissors. I think it'll probably help having the swivel, because if you pull like you would with regular scissors, you'll catch them.
You're going to catch them. And the nice thing about the swivel is, so when you turn to go underneath, my arm is still straight.
That's way less pressure on your...
Where if I have stationary, when I do it, my arm does this.
And
can you see?
This is making me hurt watching.
Yeah, that's causing carpal tunnel. And when we compete, we're like contorting ourselves. And in the salon,
Advil is our friend.
Well, you're doing hours upon hours of work in your salon. And, you know, whether you're mobile or whether you're in the salon, you're doing a 6 or 8 hour day. And you don't want to be contorted. Like, I can't even do that with these shears, okay? Because the swivel just turns. And then when I come up to do the top, it swivels. And you really get used to it. This one's actually a little tight for me. If you loosen it up a little bit.
And as simple as that to loosen it?
That's it.
You don't even need a tool.
Yeah, when you move your hand, the swivel moves with it. And I have found that it took me maybe a day to get used to them. I use a lot of swivel shears in my shop. This is the first time I've had an opportunity to use a swivel thinning shear, though.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, which is pretty new. So, you know, as groomers, we want to keep our wrist as straight as possible. You want to move your whole body when you scissor.
Yeah, especially
you know,
after
we don't want to be doing these
doing
things.
it for 20, 25 years. That,
Me, I've only been at 5.
oh.
You've only been at 2, right?
Oh, exactly. Yeah. I love Cheryl Purcell.
So you can see she was gone over probably with a snap-on comb.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Lance, can you see how she's got all those sticky outies there? We're just going to go through.
It doesn't matter which way you're doing it.
No, and trim them off.
Well, that's really awesome of Sensei to think about the ergonomics of our hands.
Yeah, and I really like it. And the last thing I like to do with these guys is anytime you snap-on comb them, you take it afterwards with your comb, and you can come up.
The comb over scissor. Scissor
And you
over
can
comb.
thin and shear all the way up. So, hope you guys learned something.
Yeah, those are really, really impressive. A little later on, we're going to actually stop by the Sensei booth so we can see all of the products they have to offer.
Yeah, this is their limited. These were my 4 favorite picks for the day. So
we couldn't bring the whole booth over.
No, well, we tried. They wouldn't let us. They were busy.
So we'll go over to the booth. So we will do that in a bit. You guys enjoy watching the poodle class, and we'll talk to you soon.